Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode. I'm Franck Zanu. This is Zanu Project Rethink, and I'm so lucky. I brought them back again, Cedrick and Armani. In our last episode, I spoke with Cedrick about the purpose of life, and he held it so strong. It was quite a nice discussion. And then I had Armani, who came to talk about the one-drop rule, where our biracial is referred to as black. And that was a wonderful discussion. I enjoyed it so much that I asked the two of them to come on this very sensitive topic, race. So, Cedrick, welcome again to Project Rethink.
Zanu, thank you for having me.
And Armani,
thank you for having me.
you're looking quite cute.
Yes,
All
you
right.
are.
So yes, earlier we were speaking at the back room. You said when you read my note, you almost fell to the ground. So let me know.
Honestly, Zanu, I'm quite shocked you even said those things. As someone who, of course, has been in very discriminative situations, the very fact that you mentioned racism, does it exist? Does it exist at all?
That's where your contention came from, right?
Yes.
Like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I even find even the question almost offensive. What do you mean use?
Yes, you're right.
Does racism exist? So please tell me.
What about you? I mean, you said to me, yes, you would like to come on too. Did you have the same reaction?
I did. I was actually drinking a cup of coffee and I spilled it.
Oh, yeah?
So
When you read my note, okay.
You owe me a cup of coffee. No, I was completely shocked. In my mind, it just didn't make sense. Like, why would you question, or how dare you question
racism.
really racism? Of course it's real. Of course it exists, right?
I had the same reaction to myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I spilled my own coffee too. So
So do we owe you a coffee?
no, it's even. Yes, okay. Look, I totally understand what you're saying. It's not something like, oh, I made up a topic because I want to be controversial. I want to just, no, it's not true at all. And when people look at my face when I talk about these things, they believe me that this guy is serious. Because here is it. I do not say that I'm going to prove that there is none. No, I can't. I don't have that credibility to prove there is no racism.
Okay.
However, I keep saying that as children, we grow up, your environment only allows you to think and have world views.
Yes.
You don't just yank it from trees. We have to acknowledge that the way you think, even religion, if you were born in Saudi Arabia, 99.9%, you're going to be a Muslim, right? If you were born in China, you pick on. If you're born in Japan, you'll be a Buddhist. If you're born in the United States of America by Caribbean parents, 99.9%, you're going to be a Christian.
Absolutely.
If you're born in Africa, check this out, you're going to be a Christian or a Muslim. We buy everything. Yeah. So you find all the religions there, but you don't find any African religions influencing any child anywhere else. So you ask yourself, how did I come to be a Christian? How did I come to believe this and that? It's because it was repeated around you for so long that, hey, look, you're busy being a young person. You have no time to stop to say, let me go and research this and find out, is it even true or not? So we go with it for the sake of comfort. Everybody grew up believing there is racism, especially if you live in the United States of America. As soon as you leave this country, you don't hear these conversations anymore. In fact, if you leave black communities in America and go into white communities, the word racism, the R suddenly disappears. It becomes racism. Yes, in America.
Yeah.
So you ask yourself, where was the first time? Where were you standing when you, knowing the word, decided to, that is it, I've seen it today. You don't have any such time. You don't have such an experience. Yeah, many people listening will say, no, you're wrong. The day the policeman pulled me over. Where they pulled me over to? Where were you? You knew where you were when you first knew you were heterosexual by the first girl you saw. You can remember it. You even knew the girl. Where were you when you finally said, yes, today is the day I have sinned and I know racism? There's no such thing. You just don't want problems, so you just pick after the word and say, look, I'll go with it. Already, they've planted in your head the things you need to see and call them racism. That's how we do it.
So are you saying that for someone like me, I remember being in school and I was at the park with my friends who was in middle school. And we were just playing on the swings, girl talk, and a young boy, probably much younger than we were, took a rock and threw it at us and called us niggers and then ran home. So as someone who, and I understood that I was the lightest or the most racially ambiguous among the group, but I got hit with the rock, right? And I felt like, oh, this is racism. Like, this is an experience that I didn't provoke, I didn't ask for. And we were so upset, we actually chased him to his house and knocked on his door.
Which
and a
grade?
Puerto Rican man answered, oh, no, speak English.
Which
I'm
grade?
like, oh, you speak English.
Which grade were you?
I was in 8th grade at the time.
8th grade. All right. So you called the boy and asked him, and he said yes, because I was raised to be a racist, and that's why I threw the stone at you.
I didn't even get to speak to him.
Exactly. That's what the point I'm making. You see, because you've been told that if a white boy threw a stone at you, he's racist, and he calls you the N-word.
So you're saying...
But if Tupac had called you the same name, would you call him racist?
I guess I wouldn't, because he's
Exactly.
black.
And you want to tell me in your neighborhood, black young boys at 14, 12 never throw stones at you and call you bitches? They do.
Okay, you said bitches, but not nigger.
But they don't
That's
call you,
a
they don't
term.
call you niggas? They don't call you, you're ugly like a monkey, you're this, your mama, you don't do that? Black
They
kids
do,
don't throw stones and call you
typically,
names?
typically, when we use the N-word, it's
Fine, I understand that. But
endurement. Like,
yes,
oh,
yes,
yeah,
so he learned it
what's
from
up?
you.
You know what I mean?
So he learned it from you. You use it as an endearment, and he's been endearing too. His way of getting your attention, because you're cute. But you decided to say, because it's racism. How did you know that? Because you've been told.
What if there's a
been
commonality
described.
though? Like, what if in the situation, multiple times, certain cases, they will see that certain person of a different ethnic background will treat you a certain way, will throw rocks at you, will spit at you,
Yeah.
will say you're not allowed here.
Yes.
Wouldn't you say that defies as someone that's racist?
That's a very good question.
Okay.
I knew that was going to come.
Okay.
So now.
Are you sure
Oh
you
yeah, I
did?
know that.
All right, all right.
So yes, let's for example, many black people have said they walk into a store or something and they turn them out because they were black. In fact, Serena Williams said she went to France and went to this very upscale restaurant, but because her name starts with an S and she was wearing a fake white woman's hair, there was no way they should have told her the place was full. That was racism, right? So people have said they went to stores and they were turned away. And we would, of course, say that was racism. Yeah. Again, what you just described is what was described to you. News, social platforms, and everything were told that, yes, this person said he went into a store. Oprah Winfrey said she went to Fifth Avenue and was trying to go into a store. They said they were closed. Now, Oprah goes out to New York disguised. So how the hell is the store owner going to know it's Oprah Winfrey? First of all, you're wearing a badge hat and a dark glasses because you don't want to be,
Yeah.
But she has to go on the show and cry hard. This is racism. It's gotten so bad that if you're a black person and you said, no, I've never experienced racism, we got to get you a psychiatrist.
Yeah, they definitely.
So, we are going to make it very straight to the point based on your question.
Yes.
Do you know a movie called Pretty Woman?
Classic.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Richard Gere
Come on now, handsome man.
picked a very gorgeous woman on the streets, right?
Yes.
Not kind of any bad looking.
Not at all.
High class prostitute. Okay. And took her to a hotel. The hotel wanted her not to be there. Was it because of her color?
No, not at all.
Okay. That is a 5-star hotel, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. So it's all based on class, which is based on affluence.
Yeah.
So they take a look at her mannerisms, not the clothes she was wearing, because they know that they have seen so many people who are affluent. Their mannerisms are different, even the way they ask you for things.
Absolutely.
So they knew right away, no, there's not one of them, therefore she doesn't belong here. And they told her no until she said she was with Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Now, she went to a store to buy clothes, stock load of money.
I remember.
They turned her out, right?
Yeah.
Was it based on her skin color?
Not at all.
Now, if she was Serena Williams, right?
Yeah.
So why did a white store manned by 3 white women, in fact, she was gorgeous than all of them, ask her to leave? It's all about class. That's all. Class. So here is where I'm going to throw the challenge to you guys, because all I'm doing is asking the questions for us to be able to educate the viewers, and we can put this thing to rest. Okay. And you can educate me and help me also. So I will from now know and believe that there is indeed racism.
Yes.
Okay? All right. So, rapist is the men or women who grab other people and have sex with them.
Yeah.
Forcefully. Tear your clothes and have sex. They are called rapists. Do all men do that?
No.
No, of
Do
course
all
not.
women do that?
No.
Nope.
That's why we have a name for those who do that.
Yes.
Serial killers, people who go out and kill certain people based on their character or personality with the same MO, or sometimes change it. We know that, so we call them serial killers, right?
Yes.
Not all human beings do that. Thieves, people who take things that do not belong to them. Kleptomaniacs, people who steal one shoe, steal one and leave one. You know, it's kind of a, right?
Yeah.
So we have names for these things, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
What specific, distinct action is racism?
This is where race comes in. This is what I'm telling you.
Yes, I'm asking, but what action, distinct,
Yes.
only racist?
I would say for me, it's more of a belief system and a lifestyle where they feel that a particular race or several races is superior to others.
No, I'm asking for action. Like a rapist.
Oh, they hate.
So you mean to say to me, among black people, among Asians, among Chinese, among Russians, there's no hate. Hate is only for racists.
I agree, there is hate, but you don't see a bunch of, Ku Klux Klan putting a bunch of, burning crosses.
Yeah, like what
on a
about
white race.
discrimination?
Yeah.
Discrimination, you're trying to tell me, didn't you talk about pretty girl, she was discriminated against because of her class? But if you were black, you wouldn't accept its class. You would rather say it's racism. I'm asking, what one particular action you will not find anywhere else among one particular group of people who share the same race, the same skin color, the same country, the same national flag, and you don't find it? Only racists do it, like rapists, thieves, serial killers. We've all agreed.
Yes.
There are distinct actions. What is that distinct action you can find anywhere in this world only for racists?
What do you think?
I'm going to be honest, it's not an easy one to come up with. Let's say...
Nah, come on.
No, I'm going to try to come up with something. We got to try to come up with something. So
You know
let's
what
say,
is funny?
Yes.
Rapists, serial killers, and all the people I mentioned, we don't talk about them daily. Racism, as we are speaking now, 3 stations are talking about racists every day. You've heard this word since you were born. And you would think that you'll be quick rather to get me that action, describe it for me, than saying you will think about it. You know why? No one has ever asked the question in that way.
I mean, I agree with you in the sense that there is no particular action.
Right.
Then how did you come up with the name?
I think
Actions
it's
come
more,
before the name is made.
It could be an epidemic, like a phenomenon.
Well,
that
epidemic
people
has a name.
experience.
Is it a COVID? It attacks our nose and eyes and ears. I'm asking seriously, and anyone out there listening, what is one action? I go to India, I won't find it among Chinese, among Japanese, among Europeans. No, only racists. They are the only ones who do this one part, like rapists.
Right.
That's why it ends with IST the same way.
Yes,
Yes.
rapist.
What is that?
I gotta be honest with you, Frank. I never thought of that. I guess you don't have to buy me coffee anymore.
No, you're not thinking hard. I'll give you why I'm telling this story, okay?
Okay.
Think you'll come up with something. So I used to go to Jamaica to do a youth program, and I love hanging with the Jamaican high school students.
Right.
I mean, they're funny.
Yeah.
They tell stories a lot. You know, it's a Caribbean country, yeah.
Okay.
And I came to notice that you will never hear a story being told under the coconut tree or the marketplace without ending with Duppy.
Oh, yeah.
Grown-ups, young people, men, women, Jamaican. It is unthinkable for you to be a Jamaican and even question if there is such thing as Duppy. They look at you like you
And
are
what is
crazy.
a duppy?
A ghost. You go to West Africa, ask any West Africa next time you meet them. One of the things we talk about, everybody is afraid of a ghost. Nobody has seen any. You know what is funny? The ghosts always, they wear a white cloth.
With 2 holes and little
Yeah.
sheets.
Yeah. Okay? That's the third thing. They only come out at night. How come they don't sit next to us in the passenger seat? Oh, who is this? How come we don't see them at the mall? So when you're growing up in Jamaica or in Africa, you don't have the time to say, what is ghost? Let me find out. Where are you going to find out something that doesn't exist? It's like me asking you to look for a black cat in a black room, and the cat was not even there. So you, as a child in Jamaica, it's strange among your friends. They will laugh at you to even question, what is Doppy? Where is it? Where can we find? No, there's no such thing.
Okay.
Because it's called collective ignorance. You think if so many people have said it is, there must be one.
What is the term you use again? Collective what?
Ignorance.
Collective ignorance.
You understand?
Okay.
To the point, at night, because they've told you, one, the ghost wears white.
Yes.
It's stuck in your hair, the color.
Yeah.
It only appears at night. And it doesn't walk straight. It's always going in and out. So one day, you were walking on a quiet street at night. The neighborhood drunk is wearing a white beater, going in and out of the forest. You take a round this way, and you tell everybody the next day, I can swear I saw a ghost. You see, they gave you the color, they give you the form, the behavior, and when it appears.
At night.
Doppy to the Jamaican, racism to the African American or black.
As
So
a
they've
Haitian,
told
something
you-
very similar. We have this thing called a lugaou, which is something I've never seen a
In
photo
Haiti.
of. I can't find a lugaou
What
picture.
is a lugaou?
A lugaou is this monster that Haitians tell to children, you know, as folklore and stories. But some adults still believe in those lugaous till this day.
It's like a boogeyman.
Precisely.
Like a
Or
boogeyman.
Candyman.
Yeah, kind of,
Okay.
Correct.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So lugaou for Haitians, boogie, Doppy for Jamaicans,
Yes.
ghost for Africans,
Yeah.
racism for African Americans or blacks who live in America. Because since you
You're saying
started,
that's the same thing? Come on, the same thing.
but I've just asked you to tell me
A concrete evidence,
an action
an action that shows.
that is only
Hate crime.
What?
Hate crime. What happened to Trayvon Martin? George Floyd.
Yes.
So I am asking you to show me an action. So four black policemen beat a black guy. His name is I'm thinking you know the name. Not too long ago. It took him 3 days to die in the hospital. The division is called the Scorpion Division. They claim there was too much crime in the area, so that Nashville.
Okay.
So they form a division called the Scorpion Division, and it was staffed with black guys. This dude was coming from somewhere in his car. They stopped him, he didn't comply, and they started beating him. 4 black policemen beat a black kid. It took him 3 days to die in the hospital.
Oh, I saw that.
So hate crime. George Zimmerman had an altercation with Trayvon Martin. Yes, he died. And so, but then, how would you explain the 4 black policemen?
I do think there's a difference between people who are violent and commit crimes against people who might look like them or is just within close proximity because that's who they have access to, versus people who believe that black people or other races are inferior and therefore don't deserve
I don't know
life
I don't
or
know
privilege.
how to measure believe. As you said, believe is abstract. I don't know how you knew that they believe. And I'm asking you.
They always say it.
Say it.
Where?
Yeah. All the time
Where?
on social media,
So
the way they...
Yes. I am asking. In my country, in countries in the Caribbean, in Haiti, in Jamaica, there are groups of Jamaicans who say mean things about other Jamaicans. In Haiti, yes. In my country, tribes who say mean things and think that one is inferior. The Hausas of Nigeria, other tribes, especially the Yorubas, believe the Hausaman is inferior, and they say it to their face. It's not peculiar to racists. I'm asking you to give me, show me, describe an action that is only, cannot be found among any other group of people who wore the same skin color, who speak the same language. The Rwandan genocide was not between white and black. It was 2 black tribes killing each other in their own country. And you're talking about killing and hate. If the Hutus didn't, do you know what the Hutus thought the Tutsis were? Please Google and read about it. One tribe is called the Tutsis, and the other tribe is called the Hutus. The Hutus kill the Tutsis, not with guns, blunt machetes, throw their babies in wells and cut their heads off. Many refugees living in the United States came from Rwanda. They said the Tutsis were cockroaches, they can smell them. The Hutus actually believe when they walk into a house, they can smell them. So they were called cockroaches. Did you watch a movie called Hotel Rwanda?
Yes.
Please watch it.
Yes.
Okay, then why are you asking me about killing?
Well, Zanu, some people will
I am
agree.
asking you to describe an action that we all will agree here is distinct to racist. Like rape is only distinct to rapist.
I don't think there is none.
If there is no action, how did you come up with a name? How do you name a child that is not born or is not there?
I guess I never thought about
Somebody made a word because black people found themselves in a country that once wronged them by holding them as slaves. And they believe in their heads, if they can hold me slave, anything they do thereafter must be based on my skin color.
So are you saying like the term racism was invented by a black man and not a white man?
Why would a white man invent that? He had a reason he bought you as a slave, purely for economic reasons, not based on your skin color. If that were the case, then we would agree here, no country would have bought people from within that country. Europeans bought each other as slaves. Is that not true? Now, Norwegians,
Yeah, that's true, man.
the Latvians,
Same with the Vikings.
The
that's
Romans.
correct.
Romans,
And where are they today? Yeah, the whole of Northern Europe. How about the Romans? You think they bought Africans? No, they bought people from the Mediterranean.
And you know what, Zanu? It makes me think about after slavery happened, there was a group of black people, black men, who bought land and owned slaves, and they actually were so horrible.
Well, that is not a fake story. In fact, some very historian told the same story. Thomas Sowell, he knows because that is his field. And he said almost 3,116 black people bought other black people after slavery. Now, their treatment was so horrible, a white slave owner had to come and say, Jim,
Calm down.
calm down now. It's a true story.
Yeah.
When we go low, we go low. That's very true. Yeah.
So what action, human action,
yes.
can we not find that is distinct?
Armani, have you come up with one yet?
So let me repeat what I said to you earlier. The mistake we made was this, and I want to clarify for you. It's not just in America with black people. If your status is slave, whether it's in Egypt, Europe, that's it. You do not expect for the other class to treat you the same because of your status, your class, not your race. Do you know what is called the commonness of the English culture? Commonness.
Commons,
it's
yes,
like
of course.
a
The
regular
commons.
person.
Do you think the English commonners have the same right, access to the same hotel,
Of course
the
not.
same shops,
Of course
the
not.
same bathhouse,
Yes.
the same area in the first class with the...
Same color or not? Same treatment.
That's correct.
Agreed.
That's why they have a name for them called commoners.
Yeah.
Okay? So the slaves that were bought by the Vikings, they were designated. They have to mark them for you to know they are slaves.
Yeah.
But they were white, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you think the slave of the Northern Europe would have the same right with the ones who held them as slave owners?
Of course not.
Okay, then why are you thinking that because you were brought from Africa, the only reason you use the word racism, this is the only place where the slaves who were brought here had a different skin color from the slave owner. So everything he does, instead of you to say is because of your class, you're saying it's because of my skin color.
So you're saying that it was a class issue, not
Everywhere
race.
you look, it's a class issue.
So instead of calling them racist, you might as well just call
Yes,
them
and that
classist.
class behavior happens everywhere. The English were notorious for it.
So it's classist.
That's it. Everything. There is
Interesting.
nothing called racism. If you don't and cannot share with me and describe for the viewers that action that is known just like rapist, that action is only racist. Do it. There is none. Let me share something with you. There is a guy called Dodi Fayed. Now, you two Gen Zs will never know his name. And if you did, you forget it long ago.
I don't know who that is.
All right.
no.
Dodi Fayed was the last guy who died with Princess Diana. Dodi Fayed was the son of an Egyptian multi-millionaire who lives in the UK. The father migrated to the UK from Egypt. His name is Mohammed Fayed. He owns the Harrods clothing store, very high-end. A shirt is like $400 and something. He also is the owner of the Ritz-Carlton hotels. Do you know they call him Sir Mohammed Fayed? Why? The Queen of England knighted him. You think all English people who were rich are knighted by the Queen? Exactly. Where is his Muslim background and his color as an Egyptian? No, money, class. He has only one son, a playboy called Dodi Fayed. When Diana divorced, they were together and dating. And they went to the father's hotel that night. Paparazzi followed them and then they died under the bridge. Yeah. So a commoner doesn't have the same status. Mr. Fayed can walk into the Buckingham Palace, and greet the Queen and sit down there and have tea because he's a sir, based on money.
Status, power.
Status. Now, how about the white slaves who were brought from Latvia, from Norway, Finland, who are now living in the northern part of Europe, who knows by their mark that they're slaves? Once upon a time, you were slaves, and you're never going to get that class. Within the African tribes, we had slaves too. Africans who bought Africans as slaves. Really? Not sold them, no, kept them in Africa. Yeah. Not between two different tribes. Sometimes within the same tribe, based on your class. How many goats and cows your father has, place you somewhere already. Some women were married by force. You're lucky if you got a chicken. But some women will be married and they say, unless you bring 30 cows. You see where your father is. It's all class, my friend. What would Africans call themselves in this situation if it's not racism, but the same behavior, sometimes even worse?
So you think the George Floyd situation was a classism, not racism?
The what?
The George Floyd situation, George Floyd, when he was murdered, that was a classism situation?
So there are 50 states in the United States of America. That's quite a lot of states. In each state, let's say average, 20 towns and cities. That's a lot.
Of course.
In Minnesota, I'm sure, they have about 30 different cities and towns. And each town or city has its own police department. How many states in the United States and how many towns every day do you hear police is killing black people? We can count the number of black people that got into altercation with police and it turned fatal. We can count it. We can't count how many black people have been gunned down in this country by their fellow black people. Who is racist here? You choose to say the few encounters, and now that is police have died in the line of duty in this country. It's a dangerous job, and the only country in the world where a policeman's wife is worried, would my husband come home or not? In other places, it's only the military people when there is a war that you worry, not police. This is the only place. You got people high on all kinds of substance at 8 a.m. in the morning, and it's a gun ownership country. But police have to stop these people, conduct searches. The only country with a huge population of mentally disturbed people, the United States of America, doped up with a lot of anger, pushed in them by their own parents, claiming that somebody don't like you because he's racist. So you're angry by the time you turn 12. And who was the teacher of your anger? Your own parents. By the things you say about other people, your kid is already suspicious of anyone who doesn't look like him. Every little thing he does, that's a racist right there.
Okay, so you're saying racism is taught?
It's taught.
100% is what you're saying.
Not the person, no, the people who believe there is something. Like Dopey is taught.
Wow. I mean, I haven't even...
It's taught. The white man never yelled racism, racism, racism to you. You think if Japanese were held slave in this country, they would turn around and buy each other? You think if Jews were held as slaves in this country, when it was over, they would turn around and buy each other? You think if Jews were held as slaves in this country for long and they were set free, emancipation, they would even try to kill each other? They would never. It would be the most loving environment you would ever work because they would become very united. What do? Oh, I'm sorry. We were brainwashed. We were taught how to kill during slavery. That's what we say. It's foolish. What you're saying is telling people that we are so stupid. You know, there's a saying, a story that is bogus. I know it's bogus. That in the 60s, the FBI planted crack in black neighborhoods. That's why we became crackheads. So here you ask the question, did you have the propensity to use it first before they brought it? Or because they just brought it, you use it? Maybe the FBI, since they deal with human profiling, they know already that you would use it. Because if they had poured the same thing in Jewish communities, the Jews will walk past it, even at a discount price. They won't take it. If they had poured the same thing in the Korean communities, they won't take it. In the Chinese communities, why did you take it? You're telling your kids that your forefathers were stupid, that you saw poison and you took it. That's what you're teaching children. There was no such thing.
So then you're saying in an instance where someone is claiming racism, that it's the one that was being hated that said it, not the one who was...
Who said that they don't like me because of my skin color? You think the hater said it or the hated who said it? Why did they say it? Because blacks are the only people who know that the skin color is not beautiful.
So do you think we're internalizing something that we feel within ourselves, like maybe we feel inferior, so we're saying
yes, ma'am,
that others view us that way?
Yes, ma'am. You're so smart. You make it easy for me to explain it. It may sound very bitter, but it's true. Just from now, watch carefully and examine how we do it. Why would you be telling people that they hated me for my skin color? Now, there's one thing I know in this world people don't do. People never hate people for something you didn't create. We didn't create our skin color. Why would anyone want to hate you for something you didn't create? Has anyone hated anybody for being tall? Has anyone hated to the point I want to kill you for being handsome? Has anyone even hated an ugly person? No. Why would anyone hate you for a skin color they know you didn't create? So that's not true at all, that they didn't like you because of your skin color. In fact, you know who loves black? Whites. When their kids get fucked up, they become gothic. They wear all black, black lipstick, black boots. They listen to black music. Have you seen Marilyn
Monroe?
Yes.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. Yeah. No, not Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Mason. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. The heavy metal guy. Yes. Have you seen heavy metal? Have you seen Kiss? Black. White people own black dogs. They own black cars. In fact, they love black suits and black dresses with pearl. If it is a color they hate, how come they use all these things?
There's even this new song that's been trending, $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby, yeah.
Okay.
What
it is the foolishness of the foolishness of the civil rights movement. Somebody made this speech. I don't know how he thought that was a sensible thing to say. Judge a man by the color of the content of his character and not the color of his skin. That is where this whole thing started.
It's just a big misunderstanding.
That's correct, because he knows exactly why people are behaving that way towards us. It's not only in America. Name a place on Mother Earth, which is not America, because you guys claim America is a racist country. Name a place on Mother Earth, including black countries, where the black men who are there feel very respected and treated as equals. Where do you know? Gen Zs, you are on social media, you travel far but staying at one place, but you go far through social media. I am asking again, in the Caribbean, in Africa, and then the rest of the world. I'm not excluding black countries. Name a place where the black people who live in there feel safer, happier, more respected, and treated equal.
It's typically in a white neighborhood.
No, I mean, name a country outside the United States.
Armani, would you say Jamaica is one of those countries?
No.
Jamaicans feel safe, happier, treated equally by Jamaicans? Which of the Jamaicans, unless you're a Chinese Jamaican or you're Indian Jamaican, then the black Jamaicans will treat you like you are.
But I'd imagine everyone's experience is very different. There's some that would say, I've been living in America 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years. I'm a black man, and I've never experienced racism.
Yeah, like me, I haven't.
Okay.
We were having a dinner in a friend's home, and we were telling, and some people watch my episode on why do minorities kill each other. And I declared that, yes, in my 30 plus something years in the United States, it's the truth. I have been pulled over like crazy because I went to college here. I didn't have money. my registration on my car is expired, but you're driving it anyway because we have to go somewhere and make money. My license is expired. They pull me over like crazy. But not a single. There's no reason for me to lie. As a policeman, roughed me up. Never. Can I see your registration? Yes, sir. Sir, I know I'm going to waste your time because it's expired, sir. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, give it to me anyway. Get out of the car. That's it.
But what if that's the reason? Maybe because you have never been in, certain racist situations while you're even asking this question.
Well, that's what I'm asking you who've been in it to describe an action that next time I see it, I should know that, yes, Cedrick told me, Armani told me, that is the action. And it hasn't happened.
So if a white man comes to you and tells you straight up, I am a racist, would you say, no, you're not?
No. I'll say, thank you. What is it?
Sorry, I don't like you. I dislike you completely.
Yeah, many people dislike me in my own country anyway.
Yeah, but I don't like your skin and the way you are.
Oh, well, then fine. What is it? Is he going to kill me?
But isn't that where it comes in? You're not allowed in my
I have
establishment
never seen
because
any
you're black.
person. Well, I'm asking you to share with me an action that should be called racism.
Yeah,
so what? But you're making what we call analogies and say if a white man walk up to me and say I don't like you because you're black. Yeah, I'll say you are reacting to a color. Yes, I can see. He hasn't taken his medication today.
But you could argue that people who feel that way have also been told from before by the time they're 12 to hate blacks because
no, white don't tell their children to hate black people because they know they're putting their children in danger.
Yeah.
No, they don't do that. No. We say it like, we're transferring something that happened. Yes, at one point in this country, life for a black man, oh Lord, I would trade anything else, was terrible. Heinous. Slavery is not something any human being, no matter what. Hatred is not for, regardless where you are. The Jews in Europe are not black, they're Caucasians. But were they not killed by another Caucasian man called Hitler?
Yeah, they were actually in the... Okay.
But we didn't call it racism, we said it's a Holocaust, right? But let Hitler kill just 100 black people, not 6 million. Black people will say, oh, that's racist because he's a racist man. But Rwanda, they're not racist. South Sudan, killing each other, they're not racist. In Kenya today, the police have just... George Floyd, we have over 5 months of riot, not demonstration. Let nobody fool you calling it demonstration. There was riot. We burned down buildings. In Minnesota, over $300 million of properties damaged, right? 5 months long. Not a single person was killed by a police bullet during that 5 month long. America should indeed be called the shining star on the hill. Just in Kenya recently, 2 weeks of demonstration. You know how many students are shot down dead? 23.
Oh, wow.
Not by white police, black Kenyan police.
Really?
Hundreds have broken their legs. Now, 23. The ones parents have not found yet are not accounted for. I was invited to speak in Kenya in April. You know about what? Femicide. Women being slaughtered by their boyfriends, husbands, every day in hotel rooms. This April, you understand what I'm saying? How many women, black women in America, has been slaughtered by white boyfriends?
Not many.
Let me ask you, in your neighborhood where you were raised, when your mom said, Cedrick, come inside, close the door, is it because some white kid with tattoos is going up and down with an AK-47? No. It is somebody looking like you with a bag load of cocaine who might turn his 14-year-old son into a carrier. And if it's you, knock you up at the age of 16 and walk onto another woman. How many baby mamas are walking around in America with no money, no job, but dragging 3 biracial kids because some white guy made them pregnant and walked away?
You're making some very fair points. I mean, it's hard for me to disagree with that. But I mean, let's say a well-known example. I just want to give one example. Let's say a young black man walks into a diner, sees a lovely, beautiful woman that happens to be a white person, and smiles at them. Just simply smiles. And let's say another white young man walks into that diner and smiles at that woman, but she pays it no mind. But when that young black man decides to smile, that's a problem. So the store owner sees that and decides to go chase that young black man down, and a group of white men come grab this young black man. They tear him up, they beat him to pieces, and throw him in the water and dump him in the river. Is that an act of racism or just classism?
No, you've just described what it was. A young black man walk into a diner and wink at a white woman, and they chase him and beat him and throw him in a river. Why give it one word?
Classism or racism?
No, I don't know the full story to be able to answer you. I don't know what he did.
But you would deny that's racism.
I don't know the full story. Why he winked at the woman, what they know about him, I don't know to answer the question. Okay. The story looks good as a trap so that we can see how dangerous racism is. But I don't know the full story. Why you wink at somebody and then that's it. They chase after you and cut you into pieces and throw you into the river.
Okay.
The KKK did horrible things in the South. They're trying so hard to make their communities just pure white. I don't want no black person here because what do they know black people to be? Slaves. Who wants his daughter to marry a slave? It doesn't have to be your skin color. If the people they brought to the South were white and marked as slaves and they worked in the plantations, they would treat them the same way. That's what you're not getting. Once your class is slave, that's the lowest you can get, regardless of skin color. Koreans were enslaved by Japanese. They are the same race. There are hundreds and thousands of women today living in Japan, segregated in their own communities. They were called comfort women. During the war, they built brothels. They brought them from Korea because Japan colonized that country. So that the soldiers will relieve themselves at night with Korean women, 12, 13-year-olds. They are of the same race, only two regions. Once your status is a slave, it's no longer got nothing to do with your skin color. If the people that came here to work in the plantations were white but slaves, that's how low they would be.
It gave us a lot to think about.
So I said it, let me repeat. Because blacks were brought here as slaves, that they think already, they did that because I'm black. No. Because maybe you are the easy one for them to be able to subdue with no resistance. That's the first thing. You go to market for anything, business. You look for what I can afford and what I can keep. Not skin color. If black people were just as terrible as Japanese or the Mongolians who slash if you touch them, they will leave us alone. We didn't slash.
You were happy to see them, probably.
You think they didn't try it with the Japanese? They named the place the Devil's Island. Who could stand the Mongolians? Genghis Khan. Who could stand the samurai? Japanese would not be held in slavery. The next day you come, they've all committed suicide. They will never let their dignity be soiled. I am not saying one is better than the other. I'm just telling you what cultures put in people's mind.
Yeah.
You're not going to succeed keeping the Japanese as slaves for 48 hours.
Right.
They commit suicide over broken relationships and failing exams anyway. Now you're going to keep them as slaves.
And then also...
So you're losing money.
Yeah.
But these people who went out to buy people, they know the psychology. They can profile. They've been on the continent. They see the way you are and the way you relate to them. It made it easy for them, not based on your skin color.
It sounds like you're saying black people are the most easily influenced and manipulated.
I mean, when you think about all the different
I can only look at how we did it here. We stayed in it. We're comfortable in it. And then we started buying each other.
So when Kanye West said that black people chose slavery...
Not chose. Chose is a foolish word to use.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, it's a decision, right?
No, it wasn't a decision. No. It was not conflicted enough for them to reject it.
Okay.
You see, humans, the brain have to have a conflict with any stimulus in order for you to reject it. Conflict first. But if the brain doesn't have a conflict with it, then it looks as if you chose or you accepted or you decided. No.
And then I think in the slave trade, you had a lot of Africans who were from different tribes, spoke different languages, just shackled together. Yeah. So there was no way to communicate or to devise plans.
Well, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. If you put Koreans and Japanese and Hong Kong and Chinese together, you buy them all, they all commit suicide. Based on their culture, they don't just allow themselves to be degraded to that point. They find that to be, I can't leave my children. It means you are going to, The comfort women today in Japan refuse to have children because of the trauma. They know that if I do, I'm just passing it on.
But that's pretty much the point I'm making, is that as an African culture, we don't have that.
Yes.
And then, it's hard to communicate if you are.
Well, you don't have to communicate to kill yourself. If it's in you, if it is in you that I'm having in love or conflict with this condition, you would kill yourself easily. The Japanese don't speak with each other, that's why they commit suicide. No, they don't have to speak with anyone.
It's an understanding.
Yes, if it is in you and it's a conflict, the condition in which you find yourself is a conflict, you will do something that no one ever expects you to do. It's a human behavior.
Right.
You do something about it. But not all cultures do that. Not all people. So we try not to let people think that there's something else that we know it is the reason we are in the condition. So we said, okay, the obvious one. Oh, it's because of my skin color. It's because of my skin color.
Wow.
But we do say that, oh, black is the most beautiful thing. Then why are you believing that he hates your skin color?
He has a point. That is a contradictory. Or black
You know
power.
damn well what is the reason people all over the world react to black people the way they do. But you don't want to say it. So you're using to distract people by pointing what you think is the obvious. But then we say that melanin color is the most beautiful in the world. If it is truly in your head and you believe it in your heart, you would fail to believe that somebody can hate it.
Come on, Pastor Zanu.
Pass the plate. Thank you so much for coming on this show.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
you guys
for
are
having
sport,
us.
man. Hey, again, here we are asking, subscribe, because these questions, these discussions allow people to stop the anger and rethink. That is what Project Rethink is all about. We're not here to push anything on you. We are here to ask you the hard questions. And if you like, come on the show to ask us the hard question. But before you come, subscribe to Zanu, Project Rethink. I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. See you at the next episode.
Na shida zangu zote